The following program is real and may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Everyone in this program is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Certain details may have been changed to protect witnesses or the investigation. In the big city, murder is a fact of life.
Oh my God!
Indianapolis is no different.
She shot in the head.
Yes.
Well, she was able to speak.
Barely.
But in Indy, killers get locked up.
That's fine. Don't tell me anything, because I'll just take you to jail and we'll be done with it.
It has what many cities don't. An all-star homicide shift that works a steady stream of calls from 2 till 10, 7 days a week.
There's two sides to every story.
When these killer cops catch a murder case, it gets solved quickly. Tuesday, 11 a.m. Detective Christine Menina speaks at a community outreach meeting in a local precinct.
My name's Christine Minka. I've been in homicide for 8 years. Indianapolis, we are way above the national homicide rate, and I don't know if people know that. But as far as the clearance rate, and what I mean is clearance rate is I've arrested somebody for this homicide. That's what's considered a clearance rate. We're way above the national norm. Don't get me wrong, these victims that we deal with, these are people that are involved in things that got them to this position. Sure, there are random acts that happen. People get shot at ATMs and different things like that. With that said, know who your kids or your neighbor kids or who they are associating with. Because I tell you, there's good people that get caught up in bad things, you know, for a second, and then boom, you know, their life can be over. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
The meeting goes well, but just a day later, yet another tragic call comes into IMPD homicide.
Somebody apparently shot into a crowd of juveniles during a fight, struck a female in the head. I don't have a condition yet.
The victim, an innocent bystander, is being rushed to the hospital.
They're transporting the subject to.
With her life hanging in the balance, detectives head to the crime scene.
Female shot in the head. Sounds like maybe they fired some shots into a crowd. She's being transported to the hospital in serious condition.
Detective Menina will take the lead in this case, while Shift Sergeant Jeff Breedlove will assist her at the scene.
Headshots are never good, but maybe it's just a graze. It's going to be a zoo out here, I have a feeling. Here's the reporting.
It's going to be Officer Jonathan Wallace.
Chris gets the report from the first officer on the scene.
And she shot in the head.
Yes.
Well, she was able to speak and talk and.
Yes.
Okay.
Barely. I mean,
The victim is a 44-year-old woman who was in the neighborhood visiting her grandchild.
What happened here?
basically the black female with a pink shirt got into a fight with the suspect Juan.
It appears that a woman named Raquel got into an argument with her ex-boyfriend Juan and his new girlfriend when they showed up at a block party.
Are you Raquel? Okay. How are you related to Juan?
I'm his baby mama.
What happened?
First, me and his baby mama had gotten into a fight.
About what?
About nothing, really.
You don't know what you guys were arguing about, or what? Just...
I mean, it's just because they've been playing on my phone and stuff, harassing me.
Okay.
Raquel claims that Juan and his girlfriend have been harassing her over the telephone for days. So when they showed up, an argument between the women erupted, and Juan pulled out his gun to end the conflict.
Okay, hold on, slow down. He comes over here, he has a gun.
Yeah.
He comes up to you?
I don't know what else happened besides him pointing out the gun and stuff because I ran in the house.
Did you hear the shots?
Yeah, I heard shots.
Raquel saw the gun and ran away just before shots were fired.
What kind of gun did he have?
It was a little bitty black one that one gun to roll.
A revolver?
With Raquel's account in hand, Chris regroups with the responding officer and learns witnesses allege that when Juan pulls out his gun, a third woman intervenes.
She wrestled a gun from him.
The woman, a bystander, wrestles the gun away from Juan and points it at him, sending him into a rage.
He comes over here, picks up this brick, says he's going to hit her with the brick. She says, I'm not giving you the gun back.
Caught in a deadly standoff, Juan backs off and walks to a blue sedan.
He goes to a car and got another gun and started shooting at her and hit the innocent bystander who's the victim.
Okay.
And that's basically about what I have.
Next, Chris heads to speak with the woman who wrestled away Juan's first gun.
Whose car is this? This lady right here. Is this your car? Okay. We have a gun inside?
It's in the back of that truck.
It's in the back of that truck. Is that the one you guys took from him?
Okay. The woman claims that she walked up behind Juan just as he pulled out his gun.
And he got a gun. He just pulling, fanning the gun around. So I'm right behind him. That's when I snatched the gun from him. Next thing you know, the blue car pulled up.
The woman alleges that two people in a blue car tossed Juan a second gun.
They hand him the strap, he just started shooting.
Did you see him actually shoot him? Okay. And the gun here's in the truck?
It's in the back of the truck. Okay.
All right, just stand by here, guys, until they come get it. Where is it?
The left one.
Oh, okay. I'll have AT make it around. All right.
While Chris processes the first gun from the scene, Breedlove speaks with another young woman who just happened upon the incident.
All right, where were you during this thing?
I ran down there to the corner.
You ran down, you saw the melee?
The whole thing, basically.
Oh, yeah?
It's a group of girls out there. Took the boy gun, first of all. The chick, she had the gun pointing at him. Like, bitch, you better not jump in.
But she had the gun pointed at him?
Right, and I heard somebody say, man, she got your gun. He was like, yeah, I know, these bitches got me bent. And he picked up a brick and was trying to hit the girl with it.
At this point, the blue car pulled up.
And that car handed him the other gun, and by this time, the chick's trying to flee away from him, and that's when he starts shooting. This is how the innocent lady gets shot.
After speaking with the witness, Detective Breedlove meets with Menina to compare accounts.
Are you getting the same story that Juan has a gun, it gets taken away from him, and then he gets another gun?
Somebody went and got it out of his car or something, right? And then supposedly...
But the conversation is cut short by a call.
In information to homicide, state police have a vehicle stopped at North Sherman.
State police have stopped two people in a blue car, and a gun has been found in the vehicle.
State troopers saw this vehicle flee the scene and has it pulled over there at 4000 North Sherman.
All right, which way's Sherman?
With an allegedly violent shooter on the loose and an innocent victim shot in the head, Detective Menina hopes the people in the car will come clean about the location of the suspect. In the investigation of a 44-year-old woman shot at a block party, Detective Menina heads to meet officers who have apprehended two people driving a blue car. Just before the shooting, witnesses claim they saw them passing a gun to the shooter.
So you guys are bringing Juan over and giving him the gun, and then you're leaving with the gun that's used in the shooting. Is that correct? Is that what happened? Well, what happened? Because I got about 25 people over there that saw you guys pull up.
So you pull up and do what?
Huh? That's fine. Don't tell me anything, because I'll just take you to jail and we'll be done with it. You guys can have attempt murder charges on it, because everybody can go with it.
The man and woman refuse to cooperate, so Menina processes their arrest. Meanwhile, Detective Breedlove locates Juan's second girlfriend, Charisse, who was fighting Juan's ex-girlfriend, Raquel.
I was fighting Raquel. I didn't know it was going to escalate to gunshots.
You don't know how Juan ends up with a gun?
I don't.
Okay.
I didn't even know how Juan had a gun.
There's what, 15 people out there, they all see Juan with a gun, right? mean, you go, how can you miss it? How can you guys miss it, you know?
Charisse claims she was so caught up in the fight that she never saw Juan with a gun and didn't even know a weapon was present until she heard gunshots.
So you hear the gunshots, okay?
And I got a car left.
You got in the car and left. You didn't, how come Juan didn't get in the car with you?
Charisse says she left Juan behind and claims to know nothing of his whereabouts or any other details from the scene.
Did you see the woman that got shot in the head?
No, I didn't.
You didn't see her? Did you know there was a woman shot in the head?
Not till he just said something about it.
But you didn't see Juan shooting? Or is, I mean,
I was still fighting.
Are you just saying that because? Are you saying that because he was your friend?
Breedlove senses Charisse is withholding information, but his questioning is cut short by a disturbing call from dispatch.
Sir, I just wanted to let you know the suspect is possibly suicidal and armed. He said that he will orientate himself in with his mother now. And he does.
Juan is threatening to commit suicide from a hideout nearby and is demanding the police bring his mother to the crime scene. But his exact location is unknown.
Have you talked to him since this is going on? And I don't want you guys to like be trying to cover for him because we might be saving somebody's life and it might be his, okay? This is beyond all.
Charisse claims that Juan has a history of suicidal tendencies.
If you guys are serious that he might do it. Why? Has he ever tried it before?
With an unstable suspect, possibly on the brink of suicide, Detective Breedlove calls Lieutenant Kelly to help bring the situation under control.
Okay, yeah, we might need your negotiation experience over there on Drexel.
Menina returns to the crime scene to assist with this new development. Lieutenant Kelly and Juan's mother are en route.
Who's that on the phone?
That's, I think, sister.
Okay. Sister of Juan's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Juan's sister has already made contact with her brother and is attempting to talk him down.
So they just want to question you and see what happened because all the people over there saying that you done it.
But her comments only make him more agitated, and his frustration grows as he sees his face plastered all over the news.
Tell the detectives here. I'll meet him anyway.
The detective you want to talk to him, the one you want to talk to, she here. He hung up on me. He said y'all put his face on the news.
I don't know if they did or not.
That's what he's watching the news right now.
Okay. Well, you know how the media is.
Yeah, they make it worse.
Right. This is a really dangerous situation because we don't know where he's at right now. He's already shot one person, and now he's threatening to kill himself. And the bottom line is we just don't want to have anyone else hurt.
Lieutenant Kelly arrives on the scene and works to establish a rapport with Juan's friends and family.
And I see all these police officers going by, and I'm like, man, something ain't right.
What's your name, ma'am?
Gwen Cadero.
Gwen?
Yeah.
G-W-E.
As Gwen gives her story to Lieutenant Kelly, Juan's mother arrives on the scene in a state of panic.
Oh my God, Jesus! Where's my child? Oh, where's my child?
Distraught and overwhelmed, Juan's mother is weak and faint. Lieutenant Kelly tries to calm her with a plan to get Juan back safely.
Here's what I'd really like to do. See if you can tell him, talk to him, into turning himself in down to the city-county building, down at police headquarters. That way, it's not emotional, everybody doesn't get all upset and all that kind of stuff. And Detective Mink and I will bring you down to the city-county building. You calm him down and reassure him that the police are going to take you down there. We'll put you and him in a conference room. You can talk to him.
But before they can implement the plan, a call comes in.
Juan. Juan. What's going on, Juan?
In an act of desperation, Juan's mother goes off script and lies to her son.
We going to Alabama. Meet me at the Greyhound bus station. Come on, Juan, I got some money. I'll take you with me.
A dangerous twist that could put the IMPD in a public standoff with an allegedly armed and suicidal man.
Call me right back. I'm finna get up and walk.
Mama was telling because he gonna
Yeah, you know what? I don't want to try and trick him like we're going to put him on a bus, etc. I'd rather.
No, I'd rather do that.
I'd rather tell him the truth up front. Yeah. No tricks, no surprises. Because all that's going to do is turn bad for somebody.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
And tell him there's two sides to every story. All we're hearing is what happened on the street up there. We want to hear from him what he saw, what he heard with his own eyes. I don't know. Detective Minka was there.
Detective Minka, what happened?
Well, there was an altercation with some, I think both of his baby's mamas, and it got into a fight. And I believe that at this point, based on what they said, Juan fired some shots and hit a woman in the head.
She dead?
No, she's not dead. He thinks she's dead. You need to reassure him that she is not dead.
Yeah,
okay?
that's a good thing. That's in his favor. Yeah, a woman got shot, but she's at the hospital.
The female victim has survived thus far, so detectives hope to use that fact to their advantage.
The main thing is, just be calm and relax. And, obviously you're calmed down now from when the time you got here.
Then another phone call from Juan comes in.
Juan, it's Mama May. Juan, everything is okay. Where you at?
But before she can get a word in, Juan makes a grave announcement.
Give me the phone. What do you say? He say he still got that gun. He gonna kill himself. He see me on the news. Oh my God.
In the shooting of an innocent grandmother hit by stray gunfire, the alleged shooter is hiding out and threatening to kill himself. Lieutenant Kelly works with his family in an attempt to save his life.
I mean, whatever happened out there, somebody got shot. Okay, we can't change that.
Can't change.
The good thing is that they're still alive. So this is not a homicide investigation.
Lieutenant Kelly enlists Gwen, a family friend, to try and talk some sense into Juan.
Try and convince him of this, that it looks a whole lot better for him if he voluntarily comes down the city-county building and turns himself in.
Then, suddenly, Juan calls again.
You need to tell your side of the story, because if what you told me happened, then you need to let them know, hey, that's what happened.
Juan starts to buy in and begins to explain his side of the story. Then, out of nowhere, he becomes angry and hangs up again.
He telling me that they started it. They came over to the man messing with him. I said, well, see, you need to tell them your side of the story, because they done told them theirs. You gotta tell your side of the story. That's why we're trying to get you to turn yourself in.
As tensions with Juan escalate, the family becomes argumentative.
Is he gonna be charged? Is he charged with anything right now?
He's not charged with anything right now. I got to talk to him.
Yeah, we want to hear his side of the story.
Two sides of every story, but I got a lot of people telling me that he's involved in the shooting and he's running. It'd be a lot better if he didn't do anything. Why is he running? You know what I mean?
What did he do though?
He shot a woman in the head.
Y'all got witnesses say that?
I got about 20 people that have said that.
It was a shootout.
Yeah, there wasn't a shootout.
We heard it was a shootout. So.
I'm not going to play games with anybody or anything. The last thing I want is for him to be hurt or anyone else to be hurt, okay? There was an altercation. He's the only one that brought guns to this thing.
So no other guns was fired.
The family questions Lieutenant Kelly's refusal to lie to Juan.
If you tell somebody the truth, they ain't gonna come.
Well, one way or
the other.
He's not stupid. He's not coming over here because he
would have believed her. He'd have believed her going to Alabama.
Okay.
I can understand why the family's upset, but I've got a responsibility to these uniform officers, and I'm not about to set them up to fail. I'm not going to send them into this violent confrontation. She's in a suicidal state, so I'm not going to facilitate that to happen.
Kelly decides to hang back, away from the family, and attempt to talk down Juan without their help.
I'm going to go over here and ring this phone and see if I can make contact with him on that number. I don't know if that's her phone or his phone, but, I don't want them listening to what I'm doing. Hey, is this Juan? This is Kevin Kelly with IMPD. Is this Juan? hung up. Crazy. Juan just sold me this phone. Juan's no longer here. You know, I'm the new owner. Don't be calling my phone anymore.
Juan is not cooperating, and Kelly decides to continue negotiations back at headquarters.
Ball's in his court. The right thing for him to do is surrender to his grandma's back there, get in the car with them, drive down to police headquarters, and walk in the front door. That's calm, it's controlled, it's not emotional.
27.
I got my fingers crossed, I'm hoping.
Later that day, Menina relays some good news.
We got word that the suspect turned himself in, so actually we got the best of both scenarios.
The suspect is now in custody and facing charges of felony C battery with a deadly weapon. The victim survived her gunshot wound to the head.
The victim survived. The suspect's behind bars, so he's not able to hurt anybody else.
The next morning, Menina gets back to work on an unsolved case that has been eating at her for several weeks.
I'm gonna work on an old open case. The victim, Stephen Scott, was killed inside of his residence in a neighborhood that really doesn't see much crime.
An aspiring musician and dog lover, Stephen Scott was well liked in the community.
It definitely shook the neighborhood. So I'm trying to unshake it a little bit, make an arrest on this case. Get people feeling a little bit more comfortable to be at home and where they're living. This is the house where Mr. Stephen Scott lived.
Menina recounts what it was like on the night of the murder.
When I arrived on the scene, the door entering into the house had been kicked in. When you walked into the front room, you were able to see Mr. Scott's feet in the hallway and a large amount of blood.
It appears that before Stephen Scott was murdered, there was a struggle.
This door here, when we arrived, was covered with a black, kind of a tarp-like thing. And the reason for that is because if you go straight down, you're able to see the grow operation that Stephen Scott had in his basement.
A grow operation, a room dedicated to the cultivation of marijuana plants, was found in the victim's basement.
There was a ton of marijuana plants. He had a lot of lighting, a lot of air ventilation going in there. We're thinking somebody was attempting to rob Mr. Scott of his marijuana or his cash. It's possible that maybe the robber/shooter thought that Mr. Scott wasn't at home at the time. We went in with the crime lab units and were able to gain valuable evidence and get back to the suspect that I'm currently in the process of getting a warrant for.
Fingerprints recovered from a comb found in the living room come back to a person of interest, a man known as BD.
When I looked up my suspect, BD, I realized that he lived on the opposite side of town. So my victim and my suspect come from two different worlds, neighborhood-wise. And so now I need to figure out how they even met each other. Hi, how are you guys? Oh, I'm doing all right.
Menina touches base with neighbors who are still feeling uneasy about this type of crime happening in their neighborhood.
It's nice to come up to this area because everybody's loving on the police. Sometimes I just drive up here for fun.
How are things going?
Well, that's another reason. Sure, I came by to let you guys know I'm in the process of getting a warrant with the prosecutor's office.
Drug or love related?
It was drug. There was no love. No love going on here.
Okay.
No love going on at all.
It was definitely drug related.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't random. That's the only thing.
No, it wasn't random.
Everybody was just worried.
I tell you, you can let people know it very rarely in this city is it random. It started off probably as a robbery. Probably. It's a sad situation for sure.
Could you come out and tell us when everything is finalized?
Like a neighborhood meeting. If you guys cook dinner, I'll come out. Because you know cops, we'll go where the food is. Still trying to put the pieces together up to the murder. The next step is to track down the suspect. You know, I've got to get the link of how this guy even knew to come here.
Back at headquarters, Menina carefully examines cell records from BD's phone that have just come in.
2149, he calls him again at 10:11. The suspect called the victim 3 times. The first call was about an hour before the murder. The second call was about 30 or 40 minutes before the murder. And then the third call was 10 or 15 minutes before the murder.
With this new information, Menina is closer to linking her suspect to the crime.
Cell phones are wonderful. And everybody's got them.
Detective Christine Menina is investigating the case of aspiring musician Stephen Scott, murdered during an apparent home robbery in a sleepy neighborhood of Indianapolis. With physical evidence found at the crime scene, Menina has one suspect, named BD, who has agreed to come to headquarters to talk.
My plan is to go in and kind of confront him with the evidence that I do have and see if he'll give up any information he has or confess to this.
Your name was brought up in an investigation that happened on the north side. That's what we're trying to figure out. Have you ever bought weed up in that area?
I believe I've been around there.
You ever recognized this guy before?
BD identifies the victim, Stephen Scott, from a photo array as someone he may have purchased marijuana from.
Okay, where'd you buy weed from him from?
I said probably like 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
This Caucasian female took me over there. She walked me downstairs. She was like, let me show you how he do it. I was like,
and he was okay with that?
Nah, I don't even know if he knew.
Do you know her name?
She worked at a strip club or something.
She worked at a strip club?
BD says that the girl who introduced him to the victim was a stripper he knew, named Kaylee, and that she showed him the grow room in the basement.
Had you seen that guy before? Okay, had you ever been over to his house ever again?
Hell no, I didn't even know that dude like that.
BD claims to have only visited Stephen Scott's house once.
This is the situation that we have, okay? That guy that you bought from got murdered.
Oh, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Let me explain some things to you, okay? Your cell phone called the victim the night of the murder.
I'm not involved. I didn't touch him. I promised to God on everything I love, ma'am.
Why is your cell phone calling my victim before the murder?
Okay, I don't
You just
know.
told me you never called him, you never got his number.
Called him. Somebody had to use my phone, ma'am.
Tell us who would use your cell phone.
Wait a minute, I don't know.
Okay. Well, we've got a couple problems here. Okay.
Yes.
The problems that we have are that you're calling the victim right before he's murdered. Okay. The second problem that we have is there's evidence in the house that there was an altercation, and your prints are in the house.
I didn't have no altercation with nobody in that house.
I'm just saying, these are the problems.
I gotta let him go, but he does put himself inside the house. He also gives me the name of Kaylee Wilson, who I think is going to be the link to Stephen Scott. So that's important. And, you know, I'll go over to the prosecutor's office and present what I have so far. Hopefully with the physical evidence we have in the cell phone records, I'll be able to get charges filed.
Menina heads to the district attorney's office to discuss possible charges against BD, but finds that she will need a little bit more.
The prosecutor doesn't think I have quite enough to file a warrant on this guy. It's a good circumstantial case, but she wants a little bit more, which, you know, I gotta respect that, and that's fine. So I'll track down Kaylee. Not happy.
To track down Kaylee, the stripper, Menina has to do some digging. Later that day, Menina gets a big break.
Hey, what are you doing?
She learns that Kaylee was arrested less than 24 hours ago on an unrelated charge. The arresting officer says that Kaylee may want to talk.
She indicated to the officer that she thought she had some good information, so I think she might be involved in a roundabout way in this homicide, so.
Menina quickly checks the city jail database to see if Kaylee's still in custody.
You didn't keep. She got released yesterday. Damn it. Always a good idea to get with mom and dad. They always run back to mom and dad. Is Kaylee there? This is Detective Minka from IPD. How are you? Is she living there?
Kaylee's mother thinks she may be staying with her sister.
Can you give me the address of the sisters? All right, man, take care, okay? Bye-bye. All right, we got the address of the sister where she's staying at, which is way out east, and she had not talked anything about the murder at all, but I'm gonna track her down here shortly.
Menina wastes no time and heads out to track down Kaylee.
Been having a hard time tracking her down. She hasn't returned my phone calls. So I'm just gonna stop by here. Maybe I can catch her and see what information she has for me. How you doing? Is Kaylee here?
Kaylee Wilson?
Yeah.
No, she's not.
Is she staying here?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Is her sister here?
Yeah.
Come in.
Okay.
Hi, guys. She went to go get on house arrest today.
Menina learned that Kaylee may be staying with a friend during a court-ordered house arrest.
Thanks, guys. Good stuff, good stuff. She's staying at a friend's house. That's right over where my suspect lived. So I'm sure they all know each other, and I'm sure it's going to be Kaylee that drove my suspect over to Mr. Scott's house. So that's a good thing. Good thing. So I will hunt her down like a dog. Big beware of the dog sign. Doesn't look like a beware of dog kind of dog. How you doing? Is Kaylee here?
No, Kaylee's not here right now.
Okay. Well, I talked to her sister, and she said that she was going to be staying here. She's not in any trouble. I just need to ask her a question.
I've been in Ohio.
Okay. You just got back today, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she just went to the store.
Oh, she did? Okay. But I've actually got this information, so I'll give her a call. All right.
She'll be back.
Okay. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
How are you at?
Kaylee's not here. It's starting to piss me off a little bit. I feel like I'm getting the runaround. I don't know where she's at. I don't know. Like, okay. So I'll play nice for a little bit, but I'm not going to play nice forever.
Detective Menina is searching for a girl named Kaylee, who may have information on the murder of Stephen Scott.
She got released yesterday.
She has been elusive up to this point.
All right, so I'm gonna have to hunt her down.
So Menina enlists the IMPD Violent Crimes Unit to help in the search.
Might be this house right here. It is.
VCU learns that she wears an ankle bracelet, which enables them to track her location to this house.
Telling you, we've got her in the house. We know she's in that house. It's just a matter of how bad Minka wants her.
VCU knows Kaylee is in the house, but without a warrant, they can't enter forcefully.
Hey, Chris, it's Jeff Wood over Violent Crime. We have tracked Kaylee to this house. We've got her on house arrest, and evidently her monitoring device puts her inside the house as of 4 o'clock this morning. We can't get her to come to the door. I told Minka that she's here. We don't have enough to kick the door or anything like that. She's just a witness at this point.
Hey, Kaylee!
There we go.
How are you? I bet you were out all night, weren't you?
2077, come around.
You have a seat right there.
Have a seat. Anybody else here? Yes, no, or maybe? No? We're going to take a ride. There's the detective that needs to speak with you. She was inside. She was right in the front room. I don't know how she slept through the beating on the door, but she tried. We're going to get a hold of Minka, and we're going to run her downtown.
Kaylee agrees to go downtown and talk with Menina.
But I'm always excited when I get closer to making a murder arrest. You know, it's like everything else. It's like pulling teeth. She's gonna go, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna say, oh, I hope you think of it on the way down to jail. You know what I'm here to talk to you about, because I've been looking for you. Are you scared?
No.
Okay. When did you find out that Steve had been killed?
I think it was like a week later.
Really, that long?
Yeah, at the gas station. My sister told me about it.
At the gas station? What did she tell you?
I said I called Steve, and he didn't answer. Like, over and over I called. She was like, he's dead.
But you and Steve were tight. And he was a good friend of yours.
Yeah.
Right? And you want to see the right thing done, right?
Yeah. I don't understand why I'm even down here about it.
Well,
that's what I don't understand.
I'll explain all that to you. Do you recognize anybody in this photo array? Did anybody in that photo array you recognize?
Kaylee identifies BD as someone she introduced to the victim.
What kind of relationship do you have with him?
Not a close one.
Okay. Just a, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, we don't even really know each other.
When did you introduce him to Steve? The first time you introduced him to Steve, do you remember that?
A few months ago.
And was the basis of that for him to go over and buy some weed?
Yeah.
Although BD claims to have met Stephen Scott only once a few weeks ago, Kaylee claims BD knew the victim for months.
And you have not talked to him since Steve's murder?
I haven't seen him.
Okay. I need to flat out ask you, were you there that night that Steve was killed? Were you in a car? Did you take him over there?
Of course not.
Okay. So you understand when I'm talking to the suspect, he's telling me that he goes over there and buys dope. Okay. And then a white female stripper dancer takes him over there. You got any questions? You look a little dumbfounded.
Kaylee vehemently denies any involvement in the murder.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm cold.
Okay. All right, well, think about what I just told you, and I'll be right back, okay?
Menina leaves the room to let Kaylee sweat it out.
At this point, I don't necessarily know if she was there during the murder. I don't think she was, but I like to give them a little bit and then make them sit there and think about it. Oh, it's smoky in here.
Sorry.
This is a murder investigation?
Yeah, I know.
You do not want any part of this.
I know.
And I can't spell it out for you anymore. I need to know how he knew that there was a grow operation over there. Had he been down there?
I don't know.
Probably been down there?
Probably.
How many times do you think this gentleman went down and saw the grow operation in the basement?
He's been over there like 5 different times.
He'd been over there at least 5 or 6 times with you.
Yeah.
Kaylee alleges that BD visited Stephen Scott 5 or 6 times, contradicting BD's claim that he only went there once.
So he didn't have to have you to go in the house?
No.
Okay. He'd go over there without you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at.
The trust between BD and the victim grew to the point where Kaylee no longer needed to be the go-between.
I'm not looking at jamming you up in this. However, he's looking at jamming you up in this. And I'm trying to keep you out of that jam because at the end of the day, do I think you killed Steve? No. I don't think you would have any reason to. I think you guys were friends. Okay, this is the end of the statement given by Miss Wilson. The time now is approximately 15 hours. Appreciate it. You can go home. Good day, my shift hasn't started yet. What's great is her statement is completely opposite from what the suspect told me. The suspect told me he'd only been over to Stephen's house once, didn't know his number, all that stuff. and she says that she's taken him over there at least 5 or 6 times to buy dope, which shows that he obviously knew about the dope operation. In his statement, he says that he does not talk to the victim, does not know his number. Phone records indicate that he did call the victim. He did.
I didn't know that was Kaylee in his. Did she give it up?
Well, she picks him out and says, yeah, I've taken him over there 5 or 6 times.
Oh, she picked him out? Yeah! Right on, girlfriend. That's great.
We had the link of how he even knew to be over there.
How'd she get picked up?
VCU, baby. She's on house arrest, so she's getting ready to go home.
When I go home, do they know that I'm house arrest?
No, everything's cool. She's going home. Take care. All right, bye-bye. Hey, call me if he contacts you. Okay.
Menina now has enough for an arrest warrant, but she still needs to track down BD again. 1 month later.
I'm going down to child support court to see if BD is going to show up for his appointment. If he is, then I'm going to arrest him for the Stephen Scott murder. So I'm going to go see if he's checked in. He has a court date here at 1 o'clock.
Menina gets the help of the court bailiff to alert her of BD's arrival.
Has he checked in yet?
No, he has not checked in.
Okay, can you do me a favor? Can you call me if he... I'm going to lock him up for murder if he shows up here.
Okay.
Thanks. I told the bailiff if he shows up for court to call me, I'll come over and arrest him. So she's got my cell phone number. She's going to call me if he shows up.
A few hours later, Menina's phone rings.
Long time no see, man. I told you I was coming back for you, didn't I?
I didn't do nothing wrong.
Okay. It's good to get this one out of the way and done, and it's amazing to me how calm they are. They try to say they didn't do it, but they're so calm. It's like, ma'am, I didn't do it. It's okay. I'm about to call the family of Stephen Scott. It's one of the best parts of the job. Hi, it's Detective Minka. How are you?
It's great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I just want to let you know I made an arrest today.
Terrific.
Yeah.
That's great news.
Okay.
I want to thank you and all your team.
It just took a little bit more. You got to build a solid case before you try to go arrest somebody. So.
Rather have it right than sloppy and good. I just, I only know what I see on TV.
Right. Well, I don't believe everything you see on TV at all. If that were the case, I'd have had it solved in an hour.
And thanks for hanging in there with us. I do appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh, they're happy. It's emotional for the family. They want closure, and so now they finally have that. Did my job. Took a while, but I did my job.